morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I hope you are having a really nice day. Remember, when you bring joy to yourself, you bring joy to others, and the higher you vibrate, the less toxic people will come near you, which is what you want. Okay. I'm going to touch on a subject today that it is a little bit of a touchy subject, and it is a little bit of a sensitive subject, and I can talk on this because I have lived it, okay? So I'm not just verbatim speaking about something that I've read on the internet or whatever. And this is about surviving extreme narcissistic abuse. All right. Now, if that is where you are right now, and there are many, many, many layers to it in the cycle, but what I want you to understand is that there is hope to start with, okay? Now, another thing I want you to understand, and this is the part that is a little bit touchy, because if you haven't come through this yet, like I have, and believe me when I say I know what it is like to face the darkest of the dark. So when I say this, there is no insensitivity, there is no devaluing how you feel at this particular time or anything like that. My God, I'm sending you so much love and healing, but also awareness. There's a lot of information out there about narcissistic abuse and surviving narcissistic abuse, and there's some extremely intelligent people who are able to speak on this, and people who are now able to speak on this because they've healed from experiencing this. And to those people I say, fucking good on you. Thank God you made it. Thank God you realized how important you were in this world and you didn't give up. I'll say that to start with. And normally it is by the grace of God, and only by the grace of God, that we get out alive, okay? But I'm gonna frame it from a different perspective energetically, because often that type of abuse is spiritual warfare, especially if you are a really powerful soul, especially if the devil doesn't want your love and light out there in the world, especially if you're a threat to the darkness, all right? So that this is a different side of that. If you're a chosen, if you're a light worker, if you're a starseed, okay, you'll experience it worse than most people. Now, what is really, 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 really important, and I want you to take this away from this message. I listened to a reading once, and the reader said that, like, the message came through from spirit to the reader, and they said it in the most epic way: clear the cache. So you know when you're like on the internet, like on your computer on the internet, and there's like all your search history of everything you've looked up if you haven't cleared it before, right? And then you clear the cache and it starts brand new again, and then you've got to kind of remember the website, or you go to something new, you don't go back to what it was or whatever. That's what you need to do when you come out of a situation like that. You delete the chapter, you clear the cache, you keep the lesson. You delete the chapter, you keep the lesson. Because if you stay in the mindset of I'm a survivor, you still have an energetic cord to that scenario, and you are unintentionally still feeding that narrative. What you need to do is heal to a level where you are completely unbothered by that situation, individual, memory. And it is just wisdom. It's transmuted and alchemized into pure wisdom, pure love. You bless it and you release it. You forgive. You forgive yourself. Now, these words are easier said than done, and I'm talking about 5 years of like deep healing, deep diving. So I'm not talking out of my backside here. I am very well aware of what it takes. The place we want to get to is not, I'm a survivor, okay? I know that's a Destiny's Child song. I'm a survivor, I'm gonna make it. You are gonna make it. You're fucking amazing. You are a survivor, but more than that, that's an old story. That's an old version of you. That doesn't exist, okay? That doesn't exist anymore. You are a thriver. You are living your wildest dreams. You are a completely born again, different version of you who would never even allow that or entertain that, and it would never touch you again. That's the point of the lesson. You don't think about them, you don't think about it. You are discerning when you meet other people and you use that to your advantage, and that is it. You do not stay stuck in old stories, you clear the cache. Because you don't need revenge. The only thing you need is to completely move forward, observant, but not absorbing any of that, way out of their chaos, energetically dissolving into pure light, all of that. Control, Alt, Delete, brand new slate, thriving, living your best life, peacefully, stably, divinely protected, based in a foundation of love, not fear. You do not need revenge. You do not need to hold on to their memory, okay? Your peace, your blessings, and your best life is all you need, and that's all you want, because the whole point of coming through something like that is for that. And you need to do really deep, radical responsibility, nervous system healing, and limiting belief rewiring to achieve that. How do I know? Because I've been there. I do not look like what I have been through. I do not look like what I have been through. There have been days that I've looked so ill, so drained, so energy siphoned from these demonic energies. Right? You never give them a second thought. You don't give them your power. You don't give them your energy. You don't give them nothing. You don't give them, number one, and most importantly, any emotional reaction whatsoever. Energetic protection and energetic hygiene is number one. I've done a recent video on why you should decenter men and women, because your alignment with God should be your number one priority. Your energy should be your number one priority. You do not feed old narratives. You do not feed into any victimhood or martyr or anything like that. It made you stronger. You are a chosen, which means you are protected. You are here to make a change. You are here to heal the bloodline, the generational curses, all of that. That's why you've gone through it. But in order to create a brand new lineage, brand new legacy, the best life you could possibly imagine, and your dharma is to clear the cache completely, delete the chapters, keep the lessons and the wisdom, have gratitude for what you've learned, for how strong you are, and move forward. And literally only think about what you want, not what you don't. Because we attract what we think we deserve and where we're vibrating. It took me a long time to understand that concept in my body, in my energy, in what I was embodying, okay? you clear the cache completely of that energy and you move forward, deeply aligned with God, with confidence, with strength, with love, knowing how deserving you are and opening yourself up to all of the blessings that the universe wants to bestow on you. And then watch it come to you in physical form. I'm not talking about woo-woo stuff here. I'm talking about legit frequency shift, complete rebirth, transformation. That's why, you know, on my videos, you see the phoenix or the lotus, okay? Because the phoenix has completely and utterly burned down to ash and then risen again, brand new, with all the lessons and all the wisdom, and alchemized it all, but brand new, cache cleared, brand new, transmuted. Turn all of that into your blessings, love, peace. The lotus, we know that there's darkness under there. We know, we've been through it. We don't need to focus on it. We know it's there. It doesn't get our attention. We know it's there. We're not stupid. We're very discerning. We're very connected to God. We're very observant. We don't absorb. We know it's there, the darkness, right? And we come through that darkness to bloom in our full glory. And we reach up to the sun and we say, thank you for all of that abundance and blessings. Thank you, God. Okay, we know it's there. It's not about turning a blind eye or anything like that. It's not about that at all. We already know. We've done it. We've been it. We could write a book on it, right? It's about where you choose to focus now. What do you want now? You got a clean slate. What do you want now? You didn't just survive. You are here to thrive. You are here to change. You are here to teach other people how to heal, how to do this, and how to never ever not choose yourself again to get yourself in those situations. Radical responsibility. Because here's the thing, the darkness will always be there and it's going to be horrific depending on the potency of your light, okay? Depends on how bad the darkness is. But what are you allowing? What are you choosing to let in? That's where radical responsibility comes into it. Remember, you have a choice. You do not have to allow it. They're going to come knocking. They're going to come a grabbing for you. They're going to come a wanting for you. For your potent energy, your essence, your love, your light, your capabilities, your talents. In some cases, your money, right? Yeah. There's a boundary there. And God is right there. Right? You do not ever have to let them cross that. If you don't know, then you pray on it. You ask. But remember, the choice is yours. So if you do allow it in, and this is where a lot of my healing came in, my intuition, I ignored it, okay? And that's what the darkness banks on, okay? And then they just want to eat you alive for your light. Don't do that. Don't do that. So remember, you have a choice and you can easily and always say no. And that's what you should be doing. No. No. Anything that doesn't make you feel good, anything you don't feel is aligned, anything that even gives you the slightest minuscule inkling that something is not right or you don't feel good, that is a flat out no. You don't need to go down that road to figure it out. You don't need to go down that road to be like, yeah, fuck, my intuition was right, hey. No. You don't. That's the point of these lessons and this discernment. You just flat out say no. If it feels off, it's off, right? You use these lessons to your advantage. You say no straight off the bat and you don't even blink twice. You don't give them an explanation. You don't explain yourself. You just move on. Who gives a fuck what they think, what they want from you? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to give them anything. You don't owe them anything. You owe it to yourself and to God to live your best life in the short time we have on this earth, and to be happy and joyful and enjoy it, and to leave a legacy that is the same thing, especially if you have children, especially if you're someone who is looked up to in the community, or God is positioned as a leader. Like, we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to God to respect him so much that we are never loyal to the devil ever again. So that's what I want to say to you today. Okay, I want to pull a card, a Joyful Abundance card. Please give us a message, just one message. Well, that's my intention, just the one card. We'll see. If you need assistance with pledging, like with staying in the light, you literally, all you have to do is pledge your allegiance to the light, right? To God, to the archangels, to Jesus, to Mother Earth. And just ask. If you need help, ask. Stop. This is perfect. I've never pulled this card before, actually. My visions. So like, what you want the best for your life. You've cleared the cache. Your vision is now this, right? Blank canvas. My visions for a beautiful and inspiring life are blossoming as I follow my gilded inner guidance. This is why I love Spirit so much, because you cannot make that up. What an honor it is, huh? What an honor it is. Okay, I hope you have an incredible rest of your day. Sending you much love and light. Bye.